News. In an annual economic assessment, the International Monetary Fund has warned the U.S. about its high poverty rating and cut the 2016 economic growth forecast from 2.4% to 2.2%. The IMF recommended raising the minimum wage and offering paid maternity leave for women. Good luck with that. A group of Pennsylvanian vigilantes have been arrested in New York on their way to rescue a teenage girl from a heroin dealer. Having lost his own 20-year-old daughter to a heroin overdose, John Cramsey wasn't about to let that happen to anyone else. So, when he learned of a girl supposedly being held by her heroin dealer, he did what any grief-stricken maniac would do. He got a couple friends, an arsenal of guns, knives, body armor, cannabis, and ammunition, and hit the road to perform an extraction of this 16-year-old damsel in distress. Fortunately, police at New York's Holland Tunnel noticed a crack in their windshield and stopped them. Otherwise, they might have slipped into New York unnoticed in their giant neon green Tonka truck with crosshairs and Constitution stickers on it. All three were arrested on weapons charges for illegally transporting firearms into New York City. Congressional Democrats held a sit-in on the House floor over gun legislation, demanding a vote on measures to improve background checks and prevent people on the terrorist watch list from purchasing firearms. Even if they get the vote, the measures won't pass, because why would we actually do anything about all these mass shootings? Serial child molester, former House Speaker and convicted criminal Dennis Hastert, begins his prison term today. Thanks to every child molester's best friend, the statute of limitations, he's only being locked up for concealing hush money payments to cover up his crimes. As a wealthy old white guy, he'll be required to serve at least 1 year of his 15-month sentence. Senate Republicans narrowly failed to expand the government's warrantless surveillance of the American public. The block legislation would have allowed the FBI to collect your web browsing history and email account information using only so-called national security letters, with no warrant or judicial oversight whatsoever. They were only 2 votes short, so it'll probably end up happening anyway. Besides, the NSA is probably collecting all your data already. Now, some sensible news for a change. New York City will provide tampons and pads free of charge in its public schools, jails, and homeless shelters. The measures were unopposed. How do you spruce up an Olympic torch relay when you've already brought the machine guns? With a Jaguar, that's how. As the torch was passed in Manaus, Brazil on its way to Rio de Janeiro, the female Jaguar Juma helped liven up the ceremony. But it was the last event she would ever liven up. The Jaguar, seen here alive, escaped her cage after the event, and after attempts to tranquilize her didn't immediately succeed, she was shot and killed. The dead Jaguar is not to be confused with Def Leppard, who are still alive. B-movie legend Bruce Campbell is also alive. Born in '58, he is 58 years old today. His chin celebrated its 58th birthday yesterday. Severe thunderstorm warnings have been announced in the Midwest, where severe thunderstorms are likely to thunderstorm severely in the region. Near Los Angeles, the San Gabriel complex continues to be a fire, rather than an apartment building or a local jazz fusion band. Sportsball! The United States has apparently participated in some sort of un-American sportsball tournament. The U.S. involvement was revealed when the American team was demolished by Argentina, who are apparently much better at un-American sportsball than Americans are. Up next on the internet, hail to the king, baby. For Rob Haswell, Tom Walks, Stephanie Baricello, and the rest of the team at WITI-TV, Sheboygan's weather experts, that's the news. Or so I've heard.